Hello friends, Adam here with FED. A new trailer for Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes is out, and it actually looks pretty dope. Not gonna lie, the first trailer I was kind of like whatever on. This trailer got me kind of hyped for it, not gonna lie to you. So I wanted to talk about some of the things here. I'm not really sure if this is like an analysis video. It's probably what the title's gonna be, so people click on it. If I'm being honest. But I do want to look at some of the things I find interesting, at the very least. To start with, I think this, here, I'm gonna just silence this. This opening is really interesting. So we know from the rest of the trailer that this purple dude, Shez, is our new Byleth, is our new main character, right? And they sound like actually well voiced and stuff, which is pretty exciting. And Byleth seems to be the antagonist because it's a pretty antagonistic pose, opposing, standing over, about to stab down on the dude that killed him. And then there's this line. Is it right here? It's right here, right? Or is it right here?
It's just one merc.
It's just one merc, as in just one mercenary. That's Shez's voice talking, right? So it's just one merc. And Byleth is obviously a mercenary that we know about. So this is obviously some alternative timeline or story. It kind of reminds me of just put it there. Kind of reminds me of how it's interesting. I've been thinking a lot about Final Fantasy Tactics recently. Not a lot about it, but just like a little bit. I think it's really interesting that like Three Houses kind of feels like the story that would have been told in the history books in Final Fantasy Tactics, but Three Hopes kind of feels like the normal, like the real story, like what actually happened according to the guy who's telling the story. It's supposed to be like this discovered after centuries of being lost, or however long being lost. The story of Ramza saving the world instead of it being the story of King Dolita, stopping the war and coming to power. Because that's the kind of thing where it's like the victor writes the history of the story and all that. It's kind of what this made me think of, even though it's probably just not related at all. Just whole different continuity and timelines and stuff. Obviously, because we never even see this guy in Three Houses. Next, I really am actually a pretty big fan of the design of the protagonist, Shez. It's an odd name. I'll take it though. I mean, it's no more odd than Byleth. I like these designs. I think they're a lot better than what we got with Byleth, especially female Byleth looked kind of trashy, honestly. And this is still very fan servicey looking for the female version, but it's not as overt. So I do appreciate that at the very least. Apparently there is going to be a diverging path. I thought this was just going to be like the golden route. All the lords are going to work together to save the world from some threat or whatever. Those who slither in the dark, twisted. It's kind of what I thought it was going to be, but it seems like that might not be the case, which I think is really cool. I'm okay with having the three different paths to choose from and three different groups of characters to use. We do get a lot of character confirmations here. Of course, we have Edelgard is the main character of that. No, I mean one of the main characters. Of course, he was going to be playable. Then we get Hubert, get Dimitri, Dedue. I mean, I think everyone kind of assumed Dedue was going to be there if Dimitri was going to be there. We get Claude, of course, and then also Hilda is a pretty cool addition here. I mean, I kind of assumed Hilda would be in the game because she's like Claude's like advisor or closest confidant in a lot of instances, aside from Byleth in the Golden Deer story. And yeah, it just made sense that she was here. But yeah, and then we get a couple other confirmations down the line here, with Mercedes shows up at the dining hall, and what's his face? There's one, Lorenz is at the dining hall as well. I'm trying to just quickly scan through and find it. This is embarrassing. Yeah, so here's Lorenz. I don't know if this confirms that he's playable, but I assume if they went to all this work to give him a new design and a new model and everything, that he's probably playable, right? I think that's a pretty safe assumption. I doubt they're going to put all that work in and not make him a playable character. Another thing that's confirmed that I don't know how to feel about is that battle prep. Explore base camp. You heard right. It's back. the the monastery is back. I'm not too thrilled, but hey, it's there. This is actually a really cool thing. It's just you're gonna choose all your different classes. I wonder if it's just Shez that can change their class like this and go all over the place, or if anyone's going to be able to be in a class like Three Houses. That would stand to reason, but I could see them wanting to keep other characters more unique and then have Shez's like special thing being that he can be, or he or she can be literally anything. So, and also that probably be, I don't know if that'd be more work or less work. I don't know how that works on a game development side of things, but I almost would be more interested if they kept it where like Edelgard had a linear promotion path and that was really unique, as opposed to her being able to, be a cavalier and or a mage or whatever. I think that would be much more interesting to keep them unique, all the fixed story characters. And last thing I wanted to touch on, like story related, is this chick. This is obviously the counterpart to Sothis. We see it in the art here, where you have Shez clashing blades with Byleth, and you have Sothis over Byleth. You have this mysterious chick over Shez. It's pretty obvious that he or she has some goddess or maybe considered a demon or something living inside of them, similar to Sothis and Byleth. Not sure how that's going to work. And if you look at his sword in this art here, Shez's sword in this art here, it reminds me of the Sword of the Creator, where it doesn't have the little crest in it, or like which we learn later in the story. Spoilers for Three Houses, I guess. Learn later in the story that those crests are actually like the hearts of these dragons and divine beings, essentially. And his does not have a crest either, so I'm assuming it was implanted in him or something similar to how Byleth had Sothis implanted in her/him. So that's at least pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a little lazy just to kind of copy your homework, plagiarize yourself a little, but it works. I think ultimately it could be done well. So overall, this is obviously some sort of alternate timeline. I don't think there's any question about that. I don't think we're going to be seeing, I don't think they're going to try and tie this into the main game at all. But it does look pretty cool, and there's some cool story implications. I like what they're doing lately with the Warriors games, Hyrule Warriors, and then this being like just more story for an existing main series game. I know a lot of people are like, oh, just give me another Fire Emblem game. I'm like, yeah, I'd like a new actual Fire Emblem, but this is still really cool, and I'm still excited to play it. So let me know what you think in the comments. Are you excited to play through Three Hopes when it comes out? What is it? It's comes out in like June, right? So it's not too far away. But are you excited to play through it? Are you gonna buy it at all? I'm pretty pumped at this point. This is a really cool trailer. It showed it off relatively well. So hopefully they keep some secrets. There's some things that like Three Houses marketing, they had to. I get why they had to show the time skip stuff, because that I think that really sold the game for a lot of people. But if they wouldn't have, it would have been a really cool reveal in the game. So I think I hope they have some more surprises in store in this game. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and comment, all that, share your thoughts, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I will catch you next time, friends.